Hello, hello, hello. This is your man E here on the mic for the GSMC Podcasting Network, representing the Wrestling Laureate podcast. So we recently talked about Becky Lynch and how amazing she is. We talked about our WWE Raw preview and how Becky Lynch is kind of, just kind of digging herself, in her own hole here. Like it's kind of like training for a marathon and working out leg day like 4 days in a row. Like, what is you doing, dude? Like, no, I'm just kidding. But and we also had our SmackDown review. What happened obviously last Friday, where Cody Rhodes and The Rock are just making things heat up so much more, and how Cody should I don't know. Cody should probably take a page out of William Regal's book and power the punch, get some brass knuckles, like. Like, let's destroy that Hollywood face right to the Tooth Fairy. This is for Dominic Toretto, like The Rock, but no, anyways, moving on. So Jimmy and Jey Uso honestly has been kind of the best tag team in the professional wrestling industry, hands down. Like, obviously, you have people like the New Day, and then you have that, you kind of had that nostalgia fact of Matt and Jeff Hardy coming back a couple WrestleManias ago and winning the tag team titles, but I kind of wasn't really bought on that. I was actually a little upset because I remember Enzo and Big Cass was in there, and right at that point, Enzo and kind of Big Cass were, kind of like over at the point, like, you know, my name is Enzo Amore, and I no, like I don't know, I kind of miss that kind of like in your face like wrestling. Like he was good on the mic, but obviously stuff happened that were to the point where he wasn't allowed at wrestling at WWE events anymore, and Big Cass went on to fight for AEW, and I think him and Carmella were dating, but now I think Carmella is dating. I think she's married to Corey Graves now with a kid and all that stuff. I'm not trying to, just kick Big Cass and Enzo More, I'm not. Anyways, let's just move on. Let's just move on. Okay. So Rikishi said their father, Rikishi Fatu, said in an interview that if not like if you had to pick your two sons, like how do you feel about your two sons facing at WrestleMania? And to be honest, his answer was kind of just as we as parents would expect if you had your two children fighting at the grandest stage of them all, a sports spectacle in entertainment. And honestly, this is kind of around the globe, wrestling is kind of viewed like the FIFA World Cup. I don't know a lot of soccer fans out there that are going to agree with me, but wrestling is huge, especially in countries across the United States. You have England. Yes, there's a couple of in Africa. They have a couple of independent circuits there. Um, Germany, India. Like these guys come from everywhere. New Japan, Australia. Like, and I'm just saying this because I looked recently at Wikipedia of wrestling fandoms that are out there, and there's a lot of them, guys. Like there's a lot of them. There's probably like a lot of talent. Like kind of like when the WWE, no, kind of like when the NBA kind of goes for their draft. And that's like with football, baseball, hockey, whatever. There's probably a couple of people that kind of hide under the radar here. Either they weren't seen by scouts, or maybe they were injured that day where scouts were there. But there's a lot of talent that don't get picked up by major sports teams. Well, in this case, the WWE. So I don't know. Like I'm excited as a wrestling fan to just see more and more wrestlers, different faces, different types of personas, different storylines, different abilities, and just different like match settings. Like we all want to be, as wrestling fans, we all just want to be entertained. Obviously, it's the world wrestling entertainment business. We're in the entertainment industry. So I don't know. It should be interesting. Wrestling's taking off. Wrestling's taking off. That's why I'm urging everyone, if this is your first time, you know, partaking in a wrestling podcast. You have WrestleMania around the corner. I know some people don't become football fans until they watch the Super Bowl with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey on it. But this is the perfect time to become a wrestling fan, guys. This is the time you can hang out with guys like me, just chatting it up, talking about wrestling, talking about how Roman Reigns is going to lose but never loses. But No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So like I said, Rikishi's proud of his sons, obviously. Proud of his two sons. And he kind of like a beneficiary like perspective on it. It's beneficiary for both of these superstars to be part of WrestleMania, which is true. It's so totally true. Like last year they were part of WrestleMania, but they were backing up, their cousin Roman Reigns, the tribal chief. But trying to see them go out and have their own scope. I know Jey Uso has been doing his singles thing, and he's been doing actually pretty phenomenal. He's been fighting people like Drew McIntyre. He's been fighting like I think he fought Damian Priest as well. Like he's trying to make a name for himself, and as soon as they find someone suitable to beat Gunther, I think he could be in talks to be one of the best intercontinental champions in the WWE. But we'll see where that storyline lands. For Jimmy has kind of been a little less like promoted by the WWE in terms of like singles action. Um, like I said, I hope they, put their differences aside and they come back together for the WWE tag team division because right now, I think the tag team division really needs them. I don't know why WWE is not pushing teams like the Street Profits or DIY or the New Day coming back from NXT. I don't know why they're not really pushing them. They kind of have those two tag team belts within the Judgment Day. And the Judgment Day, they're running out of time. They're running out of time. The Senior Money in the Bank's right around the corner. So Damian Priest has to figure out if he wants to be a singles wrestler or a tag team wrestler. And honestly, I don't really see Damian Priest as a kind of like a singles competitor, but I just think the tag team belts would be better around the waist of like a team like the Street Profits, the New Day, DIY, the Usos again, um, Humberto Carrillo, Garza, also the LWO. And I'm just kind of saying this because, like, as a wrestling fan, I want to see the champions kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, kind of like as a tag team, like level wise. Like right now, you had Damian Priest, who is in fact could probably compete for the heavyweight championship, and you have Finn Balor, who could in fact compete for the heavyweight championship, but as soon as like he separated his shoulder in his first ever Universal title defense against Seth Rollins, he was kind of never the same or kind of pushed by WWE after that. Like I know Triple H, like he loved Finn Balor, like he loved him a lot, but Vince McMahon took over once again a couple years ago and didn't really see much potential in Finn. But I really would like to see Finn Balor fight in like heavyweight matches, but I think the WWE is just getting way too big nowadays. But we'll see where all that winds up. Like I said, Rikishi thinks that the two brothers fighting it's kind of like a win-win, which is true, which is 1,010% true. But he knows that Jey right now is kind of, you know, propelling himself in that singles category. He's kind of blasting himself into that world, into that kind of universe where he can fight people like Gunther, where he can fight people like Drew McIntyre. Hell, he might be able to fight for the WWE Championship as soon as, though Drew McIntyre, if Seth Rollins wins. I think if Seth Rollins beats Drew, I think his next competitor should be Jey Uso. Jey Uso has been very, very phenomenal. And that would be kind of like a entertainment and kind of be an achievement within itself right there. Like I said before, they're multi tag team titles, title holders. So I don't know. I think that WWE needs to make this work to the point where the Usos get back together. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you today. Thank you for tuning into the Wrestling Laureate podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, obviously. So please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. We love peace, love, and positivity here at the GSMC Podcasting Network. It really does make a difference, guys. We really, it really, really does. And we invite you guys to go ahead and show me your best Superman Punch, Imitation by Roman Reigns, and click that follow on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or even on YouTube. Subscribe. You can get more videos that include this guy. And also remember to, we also have other podcasts on this network. Um, so if you're not like completely into wrestling, I hope I entertain you guys enough to, be like, I don't mind watching, I don't like really watching wrestling, but I like seeing this dork just completely just fanatic and drool over wrestling. So, I don't know. If you're not into me, we have my man Nelson on basketball. We have Sam with baseball, Thomas on college sports, Kenneth on football, TJ on sports. We also have the Andrew Tate show, where the tribal chief of podcasting is, hanging out with, Faith, discussing just a lot of news about that's happening in the sports entertainment industry. So, hey, why don't you one day drive by YouTube and just kind of get lost in the GSMC Podcasting Network. We will entertain you guys. Definitely. So, yeah, like I said, have a phenomenal day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.